I'm Dr. Maureen Craig, and I'll be leading class this evening. You may have had the email that talked about the fact that we'll be focusing a little bit on side planks tonight. Just looking at how they can be so valuable to support the muscles around the low spine and actually the whole spine. So I think they're a valuable part of practice. So I hope you enjoy those. And I just remind you to find the side plank that works for you. And some of the time you may challenge yourself a little bit, and other times take a little bit easier version of it. So just kind of work with it, always knowing you can let your knees down at any point just to get a little breather. Don't necessarily give up if you can't hold a posture. Take a breath, letting your knees down, and then come back to it. It's amazing how within a couple breaths you already are re-energized and ready to go again. All right, well, let's begin with a bit of a breath practice. So take a moment to feel yourself settling here on your mat. Take a nice full breath in and a long exhale, letting the shoulders drop away a little bit from the ears. Maybe lowering your gaze and drawing your attention a bit more inward. Another breath, this time just about halfway full, and then a little pressing of the tongue up against the mouth, roof of the mouth. And then the other half of the breath, all the way to fullness, and hold for a moment, and then a slow, long exhale, like blowing through a straw. On that exhale, really letting go in the body as you're blowing it out. Let the breath all the way out and repeat that pattern. A half breath, hold. Full breath, hold. Long, slow exhale as if through a straw. Continuing to repeat that pattern as you kind of drop into the body, just seeing how the body is. Sometimes I say to myself, think less, feel more. Really feel how this breathing is being experienced in your body. Finish the breath cycle that you're on, and then take one more. And then gently returning to your natural breath. And bring your attention over the heart. And just checking in with your physical body. Anything that needs a little extra TLC. Preparing to honor that. And checking in with your emotional body here this evening as well. How has the day run through you? How is it flowing? And as you notice, just giving the emotional tones a name perhaps, and then just letting it be. There's nothing really we need to do with that. We're going to nurture it, care for it. And then setting in an intention for your practice, perhaps that saying of thinking less, feeling more. Can you keep your attention in your body, feeling it more? When you're ready, drop your chin towards your chest and begin to lengthen the back of the neck, rolling it from side to side. Swim your shoulders up, raising the crown of the head. Reach the arms out in a T and roll your thumbs back. Give those shoulder blades a good squeeze as you open across the heart. Drop your right hand down, sweep gently over, a little side bend there. Inhale as you come over to the other side. Love our side bends for opening up the ribs there. Inhale, sweep through center. Exhale, side bend. Inhale through center, and exhale, side bend. Coming back to center, raise your hands up to the sky. Feel the gaze come up, and then exhale, take a twist off to the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist left. Once more each side. Inhale. Exhale, twist right. Take and lengthen up that back arm. Exhale and fold it forward like you're reaching out of your hip, right through your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen to the sky. Exhale, rotate left. Inhale, lengthen the back arm up. Exhale, folding forward, reaching out of that hip. And release. Coming over onto your hands and knees now. We're going to take a child's pose. So once you get onto your hands and knees, you may widen out your knees, but I'm going to actually have my knees right in line with my feet. Just let my hips fold. And then you may notice that my head does not come all the way to the mat. Some people they do, but just taking this child's pose, letting your chest rest towards your thighs. Crawl the fingers forward like on spider fingers. Let the hips sink as much as they can. Then walk your hands off to the left. Let them both be out on the left as you reach the ribs out to the right. Getting a bit of a side bend and twist here. And then inhale and come over to the other side. Walk your hands over to the right. Press the ribs out towards the left, folding towards the thighs. Then we're going to come into a rabbit pose. So this is a little different. Here, place your hands on the mat. Drop the top of your head to the mat. You can tuck your toes if you want to. You're not bearing much weight on the head. You're just rolling the top of the head up, lengthening out the back of the neck a bit. Doing that once or twice. And then as your toes are tucked, reach the left hand back to the heel and then sweep it up, coming up to your camel. The right hand reaches up, the left hand back, and then switching. Inhale and switch. Camel on the other side. There we go. Inhale and switch. Little rotation of the spine here. Lengthen. Inhale and switch. Untuck the toes. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, nice and wide like a rainbow. Plant the hands, slide them forward. Let the chest come low to the earth and slide down, preparing for cobra. Zip your legs together. Place your hands right underneath the shoulder points. Inhale, use the back body. Lift the heart. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let it out. Twice more here. Inhale, lift. And soften. And again, lift. And soften. Tuck your toes here. Lift your hips up. Walk back to your table. A little cat-cow here just to warm up the spine. In particular, right around the low spine. Make sure and work anything out. You can push your ribs out to one side or the other to work out any little tender spots there in the low spine. And then we'll come into our table. Shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. And we'll balance that table. Push that right heel out. Option for the left thumb to the sky. Inhale, a little lift. Exhale, float it off center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale away. Keep that core strong as you lengthen out. Exhale, sweep off center. Draw that navel in. And again, inhale and out. Once more. And out. Bring the left hand back to the mat. Bend the knee. Get some donkey kicks in here. Exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Bring the ball of the foot down to the mat. Press into the hands. Press into the heel. Feel that calf and the sole of the foot. Get a good stretch. Our feet are tied up in socks and shoes all day. Feels good to get a little bit of a stretch there. Then resume a little cat-cow, just undulating the spine a little bit. We'll move on to the other side. Take a cleansing breath. Exhale the left heel out. Option for that right thumb to the sky. Inhale a lift. Exhale, sweep off center. Inhale, lengthen. And away. Lengthen. Sweep away. 2 more. And away. Once more. And away. Bring the hand down, donkey kicking on the heel. Kick it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Ball of the foot comes to the mat. Take that calf and sole stretch. And release. Tuck your toes. Bring the heels close together. Bring your hands down to the mat as you push into the hands. Feel the toes get a good stretch there. And then walk them back. Come up into your squat. And then lift your hips up, coming to your forward fold. Might move the feet just a little bit apart, whatever feels good to you. And just nod your head a little bit in this inversion. Inhale for a half lift. Lengthen out the spine. Inhale here. Exhale, scoop the navel in. Inhale, lift. And fold. Inhale, sweep those hands behind your back as you lift up. Tall mountain and release. Okay, how about a little balance? We always like to challenge ourselves with balance. The posture I have in mind tonight definitely is a challenge. We'll start with our focus. So choose a spot in front of you a little ways and use that as a visual focus. Bring all your attention to one leg and feel the weight drop into that leg as the other knee comes up. Place your opposite hand on the knee. Reach that arm forward and slowly sweep it back while you hold a focus, coming into that twist. Breathing and releasing. Okay, let's do it on the other side. It's kind of like one of the first steps in a dancer pose, but we'll just do the one step, okay? Bring the weight into this side, focus straight ahead. Opposite hand holds the knee and sweep open in your twist, reaching out behind you. Breath or so and release. Now to make it a little more challenging this next time, what if we take our gaze out behind us with our hand? You choose if you're ready to do that or not. Bring all the weight to one side, lift up the knee and hold it. Feel the weight in that heel. Reach the hand forward and then kind of follow your hand back. I find that further off in the distance I look, the easier it is for me to do the twist. And release. Coming to the other side now. Weight in this side. Lift up the other leg. Hold it in place. Reach it out. And slowly sweep back in your twist. Feel the weight in that heel. And release. Okay, we made it through. Even if you have a little bit of wiggles, you know, that's to be expected. Just know that we're practicing, always a practice. Now coming to the top of our mat, let's take a little flow practice now. Find your mountain posture. Let's revisit our intention of thinking less and feeling more. So just feel your feet. Spread those toes out nice and wide. They're finally out of shoes, which can feel so good. Feel the weight of your body landing in your feet, your knees, your hips, the spine, the shoulders, ears over the shoulders. Inhale, floating those hands up. Find your tall mountain. The gaze lifts a bit. Exhale, push the tailbone back as you float down, swan dive. Inhale, a half lift. Exhale, fold and step back on the right, bringing the knee down. Take your low lunge here. Let the heart lift a bit. The hips are sinking towards the heel. Exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Take your hurdlers, stretch. Draw those toes back. Lengthen out the back of that left leg. And then as you walk forward here, we're going to come into that warrior two stretch. So just turning to the side, arms out. Inhale up into that crescent lunge stretch here with the arms. And then a revolved warrior two, opening the hands in the opposite direction. And then releasing the hands to the mat. Now we'll take the option of doing that with the lifted knee. So lift the back knee. Rise up to that crescent lunge. Open into warrior two. The back heel drops down, toes out. Inhale, back up to crescent lunge. Revolve your warrior two to the other side. Fold it down. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Coming to your plank here. Take a flow or skip. The knees come down, the elbows in, chest and chin. Untuck your toes. Roll the heart up into cobra. And then exhale. We lift up into down dog. This is our first down dog this evening. Take a moment to lengthen out the back of the legs, dropping the heels towards the mat. Lifting the tailbone. Let your ears rest between your biceps. Inhale, raise that right foot up. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Enjoy a little hip opening. And bring that right knee behind the wrist. And we'll take that pigeon pose. So I like to slide my shin forward. Lengthen up out of that hip. Keep the ankle flexed and breathe. Breathing. After about the third breath, draw that foot back a little, frame out your hands. Return the right foot to the sky, lengthen out that leg, and then step it forward. Runner's lunge and twist. Hand comes down, step to forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Feel that spine lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms back. Feel those glutes engage and squeeze as you lift the heart up and release. A little empty coat sleeves. We'll take this moves on the other side. Finding your mountain. Just check in how you're doing. Pace this for you. You know, each of us is on our own mat, so please honor your experience. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Fold and the left foot comes back this time, the knee down. We'll sink into that low lunge for a moment. Open the hip flexor here on the left. Exhale, let the hands come down. Take it for a hurdler stretch. Draw the toes back. Lengthen the back of that right leg. And then walk it forward. We're going to go ahead and bring up to that crescent lunge, modified because we're still on our knee. Open into warrior two. Lift it up. Revolved warrior two. And come down to the hands of framing the foot. Option to lift that back knee. Take it into a full crescent lunge. Open into warrior two as the back heel drips down. Toes out to 9 o'clock. Return to crescent lunge. Open into revolved warrior two. And hands down, step back. Coming into flow. Take your time with these poses. No rush here. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Sometimes when we take our time in poses, we notice things that we don't notice when we're rushing. Inhale the left foot up, bend the knees, stack the hips, open. Left knee behind the left wrist. I like to always place a hand underneath, block underneath my hand, and slide the shin forward. That helps bring the stretch more into the outer hip. Sometimes tucking the back toe and lifting up can also increase that stretch. Make sure to keep the knee comfortable, the ankle comfortable, and breathe. Two or three breaths here. Slide the shin back, frame out the hands. Release that foot up to the sky. On the exhale, bring it forward. Runner's lunge. Add a twist. Hand down, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Feel the spine lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep it up. And release. Okay. That was a pretty intense warm-up flow. A lot of times we don't get up onto our feet always. We keep it a little lower to the mat for the first flow, but that one got us up on our feet as well. Let's take a more standard runner's lunge twist on our next flow, and we'll add in some of those side planks, okay? The extended leg side plank in particular. All right, we'll start with our arms coming up, tall mountain. Exhale, push the tailbone out, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back on the left. Runner's lunge, the left hand down, come into the twist. Dragonfly twist or runner's lunge twist. Breathe. Release the hand to the mat, step back for your plank. Taking or skipping flow here. Knees coming down, elbows in, chest and chin. Roll up in cobra. Exhale, meet me in down dog. Here comes the fun. Lift the left foot up, bend the knees, stack the hips. On the exhale, draw it under the body and out in front of you. Come to the inner blade of the right foot. Sometimes this is called fallen triangle. Lift that hip up and breathe. Bring the right hand down. The left foot returns to the sky. Exhale the left knee to the left tricep. Inhale it back up to the right tricep. Back up. Exhale, bring it between your hands for a runner's lunge on the other side. Right hand stays down, come into the twist. The left hand comes down and step to forward fold. Inhale for a half lift and fold. Sweep it up and release. Feeling like our pace is a little quicker tonight, but our last flow will be a little slower, so be patient with me. Hopefully you're able to keep up at this pace and not feel too out of breath. Do go ahead and pause yourself if that's helpful. Finding your mountain posture. Take these moves on the other side now. Inhale, those arms rise up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, step back on the left, runner's lunge. The left hand comes down, the right hand comes up to the sky. I think this is the side we did already, isn't it? Let's step back to forward fold. We'll take it on the other side. Inhale for a half lift and fold, step back on the right. There we go. The right hand stays down, the left hand comes up. That's the right side. Bring the left hand down, step back to your plank. Take your flow or skip. Knees, chest and chin. Cobra. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Take a breath in down dog. Inhale the right foot up, bend the knees, stack the hips. Exhale, slide that foot under the body and out in front of you. Extended legs, side plank. The left hand comes down, the right foot returns to the sky. Right knee to right tricep, push it out to the left tricep. Inhale long, exhale, bring it forward into your runner's lunge. Take that twist. Bring the hand down and step to forward fold. Inhale for a half lift and fold. Sweep those hands behind you, squeezing your glutes. Tall mountain. Release. Take a few breaths. Recover from your flow. And then we'll join into our final flow for this evening. Find your mountain. Interlace your hands. Draw them down. Lift the heart a bit. And then soften and switch the grip on the hand so the other finger comes over the top of the hand. Interlace and draw your hands down. Feels like you're holding someone else's hand almost. Shoulder blades come together and release. Find your mountain, spread your toes. Check in with your body. How is it feeling right now? Take a cleansing breath and let it all the way out. Inhale, reach those hands up. You feel your heart lifting, being receptive. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Step back on the right. Coming into your runner's lunge. Let's bring our knee down. We're going to come into a twist here. I'm going to offer prayer twist. You can bring your hand here and open your hand in an open twist. But if it feels comfortable for you, bring your right elbow over the left knee, hands in prayer. Then lift the back knee. Stretch the heel back. And then open up into warrior two as you drop the heel. Turn the hands. The right hand goes back. Check in with your front knee right over the ankle. And then check in with your spine. Are you leaning forward or back? Try to find that perpendicular spot. Excuse me. Holding warrior two for another breath here. Bring your elbow onto the knee, sweep the top arm up over the ear. Feel that long spear-like energy from the back foot. A breath or two here. Come back to warrior two, 2 breaths. Peaceful warrior, 2 breaths. Reach for the sky and the earth. Warrior two, 2 breaths. Soften in the shoulders. Straighten that front leg. Work it out. Triangle posture. Trikonasana. Let that hand drop to the inside of the shin. Open the heart to the side. 1 or 2 breaths here. Lift it up, warrior 2. Sweep the back hand forward, returning to your crescent lunge. Exhale and fold. Step back for your plank. Taking or skipping flow here. Knees just chin or a chaturanga if you'd like. Inhale to cobra or up dog. And then come to your down dog. Inhale the right foot up. Exhale, bring it forward. Drop the hips, runner's lunge twist. Right hand to the sky. You feel that becoming more comfortable as practice continues. The right hand comes down. Step, forward fold. Inhale a half lift and fold. Inhale, sweep your hands behind you, rising up and release. Okay, some of those warrior 2 postures, very strength building. Still have a little bit more side planking to do as well. We'll do that in our core practice at the end. Okay, feel the heels. Take this practice or this flow on the other side. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Exhale, fold, step back on the left, bringing that knee down. Reach the arms up and take your version of a twist. So I'm bringing my left elbow over the knee, coming into the prayer twist, tucking the back toe now, rising up, crescent lunge prayer twist. Release it out, warrior 2. Now, as I release, my knee kind of tips in, so check in with that front knee. You want it right over the ankle. Back toes to 9 o'clock. 2 breaths in warrior 2. Drop the elbow to the knee. The top arm comes over. Feel that back heel landing. Reaching through that top hand. 2 breaths. Coming back, warrior 2. Lift that front palm up, peaceful warrior. Reach for the sky, reach for the earth. Draw the back kneecap up. 2 breaths. Are you keeping it strong in the core? Warrior 2, 2 breaths. Draw that right hip back. Float the hands forward. Trikonasana. Let the hand land on the calf. And then roll the heart open to the side. Feel the lightness in the top hand as you return to warrior 2. And then come back to your crescent lunge as you lift the back heel. A breath or 2 here. Exhale and fold. Step back for your plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale. Find your way to down dog. Pausing for a few breaths here. Inhale that left foot up. Bring it forward between the hands. Take your runner's lunge twist. One more time here. Bring the hand down, Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. And fold. Inhale, sweep those hands behind you as you rise. And release. Take a cleansing breath or two. And slowly find your way back to the top of the mat. We'll come now into some of our core practice and some of our planking. Taking a moment to feel your mountain, weight in the heels, that big bone in the foot. Let the toes uncurl and spread. Inhale, let those hands come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, a half lift. Exhale, fold, and step out for your plank. Hold plank for 3 to 5 breaths. Lift the right hand and put the right elbow where the right hand was, and then the left, coming down to a forearm plank. 3 breaths. And then you can always bring your knees down at any time for a little rest. Coming up the same way, the left hand comes in place first, and then the right hand. Push it up to down dog. Take a little rest in down dog for a breath or two. Float back to plank, 5 breaths. This time lifting the left hand, placing the left elbow down first and then the right. 3 breaths. Bring your knees down, push your hips back, forehead to the mat, cleansing breath. Melting heart. Float back into your forearm plank. Widen the feet out so they're about hip distance apart. Now roll onto your left side. Both heels come down, the right hand comes up. Lift the hips, take a couple breaths. You can always bring your knees down and then roll it to the other side. Lift the hip, lift the hand. Couple breaths. Back to forearm plank. Bring your knees down. Forehead to the mat. Lift the hips. Cleansing breath. Float it forward. 5 breaths. Keep the hips up a little. Climb up with the left hand first, then the right. Exhale, down dog. Float it forward, 3 breaths. Bring the knees down, the hips back, coming into a bit of a child's pose. Cleansing breath. Walk it forward, bring your elbows down. I'm going to give one more opportunity here for side planks. Option to lift the knees or keep them down. Float both heels off to one side. Lift the hand, 2 breaths. Rotate to the other side. Lift the hips and the hand, 2 breaths. Back to center, 2 breaths. Knees down, hips down, and walk your knees through your arms. Those side planks can be intense workout for our core. So now we're going to come down to the mat, trying to stay in control. So reach your hands forward or just use the back of your thighs as you slowly unwind 1 vertebrae at a time, pushing each vertebrae to the mat. Till you're all the way down. We're going to come up into a bridge here. So bring your heels behind your glutes. Find the breath in that low belly. On the exhale, push the spine towards the mat. Inhale, fill. Exhale, push it down. Feel the tailbone start to lift, rising up. Roll your shoulders under a little. Lift the chin. Draw the knees a little bit closer. Option to bring all the weight to the right heel and float the left heel out. Try to level up the pelvis. And then lift that toe to the sky. Bring it down. Float the hips. Cleansing breath. Lift the heels and lengthen the spine vertebrae by vertebrae, trying to unwind every vertebrae on the mat. Beautiful. Okay, roll your thumbs underneath the sacrum. Reach the shins into tabletop. Option to extend the feet if you'd like. Keep it comfortable. Inhale, lift a little, and a little bit more. And then on the exhale, slowly exhale the heels all the way down, keeping the core engaged. Squeeze at the bottom. Inhale it up a little more. And all the way to the top, exhale it down. Squeeze at the bottom. Inhale a third, and a third, and a third. Exhale it down. Squeeze. Draw the knees in, drop the heels down. We'll take a bridge on the other side this time, or if you kept both feet down, that's great too. Roll the shoulders under a little, find that breath in the low belly. Feel your spine, all the muscles that control it, especially that low abdomen muscles. When you're ready, roll up into your bridge. Chin is lifted. Weight in that left heel as you draw the right heel out. Couple breaths. Level up the hips. Right toes to the sky. And bring it down. Cleansing breath as you lift. Lift the heels up on your toes, ball of the feet. Exhale, unwind the spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Lengthening that tailbone towards the heels. Once more, roll your thumbs underneath the hips. Bring your shins into tabletop. Option to push them away a bit. Inhale them up a bit. And again. Exhale a slow dropping of the heels as you squeeze the glutes. Inhale up a third, and a third, and a third. Exhale down. Strong in the abdomen. Inhale a third, and a third, and a third. Exhale it down. Squeeze. Once more. Inhale it up a third, and a third. Exhale it down. And squeeze. Bring the knees in towards the chest, hands on the kneecaps. Draw some circles. Feel that back. Massage anything that needs attention. Out to the hips and the tailbone. And then release your heels to the mat. Find your block and slide it underneath the sacrum. We'll take a little legs up the wall here. We start to come into our restorative postures. Let the toes reach up for the sky. And let the fluid flow from the legs back to the body. Option for the heels to drift apart. Let your breath be a little fuller, your exhales a little longer, more complete. With the next exhale, let the heels come back together. The left knee comes in, and bring the right foot down as you walk your hands up the back of the leg, stretching the back of the leg. And then switching, bring the right knee in, the left heel long, and walk up, your hands up the back of that leg. Good stretch. My husband's letting me know there's a little trouble with the feed, so if you're not able to stay with me, I hope you'll take good care of yourself as you finish your practice. So let your heels come down behind your block, soles of the feet together, knees out. And just rock the hips a little bit left and right. Arms out in cactus. And then let the knees come back together. Drop the weight into the heels as you bridge up and take your block out from underneath you. Let the left leg go long and the right foot come to the inside of that leg, kind of in a tree posture. And your arms can be up. Let the left foot come inside to the inside of that leg. The knee drop open and the hands up. So a reclined tree posture. Take a breath here and slowly let it out. And if you didn't get to finish your tree posture on the other side, take a moment to do that now. The left leg long, the right foot on the inside of that thigh. Right knee out. Feel the heart lifting a bit. The chin lifting. And then when you're ready, unfold the body in your Shavasana posture, our final resting pose. Arms and legs a little away from the center of the body. Take a moment to feel the weight of your body here as you press perhaps the back of your head to the mat and tuck your shoulders under a little bit. Take up all the space you need. This life that we have, the universe has given to us. And yet we get to choose how we want to execute it. Take up all the space you need, honoring and appreciating this human body and experience. Soften the eyes and the eyebrows. Soften through the face. Let the tongue be thick and heavy. The throat heavy. Shoulders drifting down. Arms heavy with gravity. Can you untangle the heart? Just let it be. Feel the breath like a breeze blowing through you. Let that breeze blow through the whole torso as it ebbs and flows. And the legs, let them be heavy. You have performed your practice perfectly. Receive the echo of your practice. Think less, feel more. And beginning to deepen your breath a bit. Feeling your fingertips and toes. And again, perhaps just squeezing the glutes and lengthening through the arms and legs. Roll the wrists and ankles. When you're ready, draw your knees in towards your chest. A little rocking left and right. When you're ready, we'll roll up into a seated posture. We'll close our practice time together. Bring your hands to your heart. If it feels okay for you, give a moment of gratitude for having a human body and a human experience. Feeling the air on your skin, the breath inside of you. The light and life in me sees and honors the light and life in you. May you know peace. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thank you, friends.